Welcome to INCRadio, Hawaii Pacific. Featuring the brothers and sisters of the Ecclesiastical District of Hawaii Pacific. Mahalo for tuning in. See you soon.
Wait. Are we on? Are we on? Okay, Brother Bruce. They did not hear you, but they saw your handsome foot, your face.
Okay.
So, okay, just wipe everything that happened in the past 30 seconds. Ready? And see.
Good evening. Aloha to INCRadio Hawaii Pacific. My name is Brother Bruce Tan. I'm your host tonight. I'm not alone. Here's also Brother Josh, who's also our host tonight as well.
Yes, as Brother Bruce said, this is our first time introducing ourselves. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. I'm Brother Joshua Galang. Welcome back again to INCRadio Hawaii Pacific. It has been a week since we last had our show, and there's something that we say every single show, which even the guest knows. We say we miss you. Every single show, we just love INCRadio so much that we just want to say we missed you. There you go. One more time. We missed you. Okay, there you go. And a round of applause. No, I'm joking. But welcome again to INCRadio Hawaii Pacific. Another exciting show for you tonight. We have our wonderful guest that is in our far right, or rather the far left on your screen. But we're going to have her introduce herself. Sister, I was about to say your name. Sister, please introduce yourself, where you're from, your name as well, if that's possible, and any duties that you may have, and a fun fact about yourself.
Well, I am Sister Ryla Valerio from the local congregation of Kaneohe, and I am a AWS Adult Worship Service choir member. And a fun fact about me is I collect vinyls and listen to them on my record player.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay. I like that. I would totally ask what records you collect. However, we will not ask that because I don't think we can ask that. What genre of music do you?
Okay, I have lately been getting into more jazz and soul,
Ooh,
but
okay.
if I were to kind of like describe my music taste to kind of get a gist of it, I would describe it as hopeless romantic island girl with a little soul and groove.
Nice.
Yes.
Hopeless romantic island girl with a little bit of soul and groove.
Yes.
So basically, we're gonna say, is there a specific artist that pops into your head when you give that description?
There is my favorite right now is Leve,
Okay.
and
Any local artists?
local.
Ooh, local artist.
I mean, it's this one is everyone Kalohe Kai.
Of course.
Kalohe Kai.
Of course. That's good. Even if that is a sponsorship, it's not a sponsorship at all because those names are just names. But very cool. Love that. Hopeless romantic island girl. Sad
With the little soul and groove.
with a little sadness. No, sure. With a little soul and groove. I like that. Brother Bruce, it has been so long since you have been on radio. Welcome, by the way, Sister Ryla. You know what? We ask this always to our guests, but we got to ask our hosts as well. So, what do you have a fun fact? What is your fun fact, Brother Bruce?
My fun fact is that I like to explore nature.
Ooh, okay.
Sometimes I use my photographic skills and take landscape pictures.
I
That's
like
my
that.
favorite.
Would you say that your favorite type of photography is landscape photography?
Of course.
Ooh,
Most
I like
definitely.
that. I like that. You can see there's a wide spread of. Do you take photos, Sister Ryla?
Yet I actually took photography in high
nice.
school for 4
There you go.
years.
Wow. I never took photography or any sort of multimedia class. But that's so cool because I always saw my friends doing it and I see the projects they would get, homework. I was like, wow. I don't know what is it. They're like, you have to take an abstract photo, and I was like, I don't even know what the word abstract means, but that's cool. How did you like photography in high school?
Um, it's it definitely taught me just like more of the basics, like rule of thirds, and it's helped me in kind of like what I do at work as well. So it's mainly just like basic fundamental skills of photography. So I'm not a pro, I'm not a like really good at it, but I kind of just know some of the basic stuff about it.
There you go, Kerwin, District Multimedia. We'll actually delve more into how photography helped you in skills to your current work job. And you know what? Let's just do that right now. Let's just do that right now. Time check, it is currently 10:07 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So all the way over here in the islands of Hawaii. And Sister Ryla, as you mentioned, photography helped you in certain skills for your current job. We will not let you know what her job title is, however, but it is a life of. And along with that, you're also in school. So it's not only schooling, but it's also working. So that's a double thing that we also want to hear from you. But first, tell us, what is that job and what is that skill that you learned from photography that helped you?
Well, my job, I am a sales associate slash stylist. And some skills that I've learned, we basically do a lot of social media and like marketing since we are like a local small business. So everything that you see on our Instagram, that is something that we call ourselves, I guess more into it. The place that I work at is called 33 Butterflies.
33 Butterflies.
Yes.
Okay.
And we, instead of calling ourselves like employees, we're all the girls there were called butterflies. So all of like the butterflies, we all kind of have to learn how to do social media, like take pictures to post, and so that way it's like appealing to the customers, and so that's where the photography comes into play, like with moving around like certain items and just making it more eye-catching to people. So that's kind of where that comes in.
So what you're doing is a lot of product videography, photography actually.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. I've never delved into that actually as much. Have you ever done product photography?
No, actually, it's my hobby,
Oh,
and I learn as I go along, and that's why I so love about being in the multimedia for the Church of Christ.
there you go. There you go. Maybe one day we'll have him doing that. We'll have you sample her job.
All right.
He's gonna be a butterfly soon. So 33 butterflies. Are there 33 butterflies?
So actually, if you take the three,
Okay.
like if you were to
I'm
flip
imagining.
it,
Okay.
it would be a butterfly.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So that's how that kind of came about.
Wow.
Yes.
That's nice. Okay. So, because I don't know how the signage looks like. Is it? It's just actually 33?
Yeah, it's
And
just
then-
33 and then
Oh, I like
butterflies.
that.
It
That's
has
cool.
that metamorphic effect.
Metamorphic.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Very cool. Big words. Metamorphic. Yeah. Metabolism. No. Those just another M word. What is 33 butterflies? What is the style that you guys are going for?
So actually the story that we've kind of come up with is a Paniolo girl who goes to New York and experiences like that boho, like
Ooh.
what is, I'm trying to think of that other word, but like just that very edgy style, kind of like more, I can't think of anything else but boho.
Okay.
And then she comes back home and she still has that like island, like Paniolo girl, but still influenced with that like New York style.
So
yeah.
kind of with a twist.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So it's like the saying, you can take the girl out of the island, but you can't take the island out of the
Exactly.
girl.
That's exactly what it is.
That's the way. We actually have it up right now on. Oh, I can see what you mean, especially with this one. I'm
Yes.
getting the vibes of both. You know, really cool.
Yeah.
That's Sister Ryla. No, sure.
That is
Oh, that's it.
That's actually my co-worker.
Co-butterfly.
My co-butterfly.
There you
Yes.
go. Is that? Oh wait. You can't see this right now. However, we are discussing important matters. Is this you right here?
that is
Very
me.
cool.
Yes.
So you are not only helping in taking the photos, but even helping display the items that they're also
Yes.
very cool. I think that is super cool.
That's
That's super cool. I love the story that you guys going on. There's an entire vibe dedicated to that. How did you come across this job? How did you?
You know, I'm actually so glad that you asked that
Okay,
because
we're not gonna
it's-
go with that. No, George, please continue.
it was kind of, I like to say it was like a love story, but an act of God, honestly. Um, because I was just coming from the food industry and I've always wanted to do fashion, especially since that is what I am going into school. And there were a couple places that I had in mind in where I was in town. But I remember in my devotional prayer, so I had these two options. But for some reason I was just like, I would ask God if there is a third option, if there's a better option for me, then please present that to me. And I didn't think much of it because I was like, what could there possibly be? I knew all the places. But then one day I was craving donuts for some reason. And the place that was close was in this one town that I don't really go to. I never really go to. And so we went to the mall there and I was like, oh, so this is this mall. And so we were just like walking around. I got my donuts.
Nice. Wonderful.
And then this store caught my eye. Like we were just about to leave. And then I saw like this really cute skirt and I was just very interested in it. And I was like, oh, let me just check this place out.
Okay.
And at that time I had already, I was already looking for a job. And immediately when I walk in, I was greeted by these two butterflies. And the vibe was just so welcoming and warm. And I tried on some like clothes and everything. And I was with my friend at the time. And they were like, why don't you ask if they're hiring? And it just so happened that when they rang me up, they were like, they gave me an application and everything. And I was able to get an interview and got hired. And it also just so happened that during that period, they had a certain hiring window. So I knew from that moment on, it was like perfect timing. And that was God like giving me that third option. And honestly, I truly can't I have no words. It's just, it really was him showing that to me. And I'm so grateful for that.
I
Yeah.
like that. That was a
So
really
deep.
that's a really good story. A lot of the times when it comes to getting our careers or our next job, or rather, this is your first job? No.
My second job.
Second job.
Yes.
Our next job, right?
Yes.
A lot of the times you try to think of all the different places. As you mentioned,
Yeah.
you feel like you've known all of the stores. You have your options laid out already. But I'm glad that you had that third option open.
Yeah.
It's like you never know what God will give you.
Exactly.
I think Brother Joe said last night, like the door's there. I don't know what he said. I can't quote you, Brother Joe. But the door is there. You know, sometimes it's either going to be a blessing or it might be a lesson. And in this case, I was a very surprising hidden blessing.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. So you just came across it. You're eating your donut,
Yes.
right? Did they allow outside food?
No.
Oh.
I ate it already.
Oh, you
Don't
ate
worry,
it already.
Don't worry. Yes.
Okay, there you go. There you go. She wasn't breaking the rules. We're trying to catch her. No, I'm checking. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
What was that time frame? Because I know a lot of people when they have their devotional prayers, sometimes it's like that, right?
Yeah.
What was that time frame for you?
I think I want to say at least like about a month or
Mm.
two. Like about like a month. And I think it was also like it's just something that I also have been kind of praying for from beforehand of like my devotional prayers kind of would be letting me to have a career in the fashion industry, but also ensuring that it wasn't going to take me away from my schooling, but most importantly, my duties. So
that is so important. I like that. actually is in my devotional prayer as well. So have fun. I know in Brother Bruce, you already have your career, and your career does not interfere with your. So congratulations, you got that blessing already. It's so nice to find a job that um it's not like you revolve your life around your work. Instead, you're revolving your life around church. And obviously, as an officer, you mentioned your officers, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, you did. I'm just making sure. Yeah. As the offices that you have, they're so important, right? Because they were a vow that we made to our Almighty God, sacred promise. And with that, we don't want to neglect it, don't want to forsake it. And it's like we revolve our life around those duties, around our faith. And I'm glad that it's exactly what you did. Wow. Very good, very good. We a lot of the times when we have our shows, we can see that the way that they came about it, or rather, um, let's just stick with that. The way that they came about that job or career is from an inspiration from God. And so I really like that. It's really cool. So hold your devotional prayers. Make sure that you have them. I think
It's powerful.
it absolutely is. Do you agree that prayer is powerful?
Oh yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Okay, I actually have the actual saying that Brother Joe said last week. He said, when you take that opportunity, whatever opportunity it may be, it'll either be a blessing or a lesson. And in this case, it was both. You learned that it was a blessing. So, I don't know what I'm saying. But let's backtrack here. And I love speaking about faith always, and perhaps we'll bring it up later as well. But let's get to know more about what your job is and what do you do there. Even though you explained it a little bit, maybe there's more. Brother Bruce, what is the next question?
And I'm glad that you anticipate change, Sister Rayla, because sometimes that's how you succeed in life, is to embrace openness. And sometimes you never know what's gonna come and give you that blessing. So I'm glad that you take it with an open arms.
Mm.
And how does a typical workday look like for you, Sister Rayla?
So a typical workday, usually when we work, it will be like we do it on our own. So it's just one person on the shift. We have like these daily tasks, which is just like we do finger spacing, making sure like the store is intact, and opening like the register, kind of all these things. But the main thing is sales. Especially during this time with like the holidays. Today we actually just had Black Friday, really intense.
Right.
We kind of suggested, there's a lot of suggestive selling. What we are trained at work is styling. So that's where our title as stylists come into play. We kind of put pieces together for these ladies. Kind of our target audience at 33, they can be from like teenagers to ladies in like their mid, like some can go up to like in their 80s as well.
Okay.
So it's our target audience is very broad. But yeah, it's mainly just keeping the store intact and it's not like helping out the ladies who come in. So
I
yeah.
like that. You said it's one person per shift, like running the entire store.
Yes, and we
Okay.
usually split it, but depending on how like busy it is, sometimes we do get like 2 butterflies in.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this case, for Black Friday, a lot of sales happening. How many
Yes.
butterflies were there today?
There everyone
Ooh,
everyone was
wow.
on the sales floor. I happened to have the first shift, so I was there from 6:30 a.m. to around like 2 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a lot.
Prepping the store for everything.
Yes.
Right. What were the deals that you had? You know what? Let's just ask the question. What were the deals that you had, Sister Ryla?
We had 50% off
Ooh.
to like, and then every hour it kind of like first hour was 50% off, second hour 40, and then so on and so forth.
And then
so.
it went back to regular price near the end of
Or
the day.
it stayed like I think at 30, around 30%.
Okay. But if you
yes.
use code Ryla, no, just joking. Not sponsored at all. That's cool. I like that. How long have you been working? I know we talked about this in the pre-show. How long have you been working in this job?
I've been working there for about 6 like 6 months, almost 7 months. Yes,
Okay,
so.
6 7 months, half a year, or
That's
over
right.
half a year
Mhm.
actually. Throughout all of this, tell us what are the experiences that you've gained, and along with that, what is your favorite part of the job?
Well, one of the main experiences or something that I've kind of gained from this was um, talking to people and just opening up to people. A lot of, I mean, one thing that we kind of learn is to like talk stories, allow the customers to feel comfortable. But through that, I've also just really loved hearing these like ladies' stories and bonding through fashion. I like, I guess the girlhood in all of
Mm.
it is just, it's so inspiring, and it it just truly makes the job so much, like I actually love going into, I anticipate going
Ooh.
into work, and that's something not a lot of people can kind of, say or expect, but it's truly like the highlight aside from church
Mhm.
and performing my duties.
Mhm.
That's got to be next best
Next
thing.
Wednesday.
Yes.
I like the notes that you're putting in, Sister Riley, right now. That's really good. She was like, wait. The most anticipated one is performing, right? So you're choir member. How long have you been a choir member now?
I was CWS choir
Ooh,
member. I
okay.
think from like eight to nine, and then I became AWS when I was 18, I believe. So
Wow.
yeah.
You've been in the choir for a long time. Yeah. Hey, wow. Brother Bruce, join the choir? You give a thumbs up.
I would have
Kavama.
to do my devotional prayer.
Oh,
Hopefully
I
next
like
year.
that. Third option. Don't forget the third option. I like that. You also gained some duties in that, right, Brother
All
Bruce?
right.
Yeah, you
Yes.
gained TSV.
Oh yes.
Yeah. How do you feel? How's
Pretty
TSV?
good. I love it. I learn as I go along.
Yeah, there you go. It's pretty exciting, I'm sure.
Oh yes, definitely.
Right. So performing our duties is pretty exciting. But let's go back to the other exciting thing, the second thing in your list, working. That is something that not a lot of people can experience and have. They say if you love what you do, never work a day in your life. Are you living that quote right now?
Yes, I would say I really am. And it's just, I guess, kind of going back to like what my favorite part of the job. Um, it's this one experience that kind of still sticks with me.
Mm.
There was a grandmother who came in with her granddaughter, and she asked like, "Oh, do you know any places that have like clothes for preteens?" And so because our store was a little, we didn't have, it was all unique pieces, and it's more like you would have to kind of know what you want. Um, I gave her some suggestions, but somehow we ended up, started talking with the grandmother, and we just had like more conversation about fashion, and then more about her teenage, I think her granddaughter she was just going into middle school.
Mm.
So I kind of gave her my experience of how before I used to dress very like just t-shirt, like just jeans, nothing special, you know. But then it kind of getting into fashion, it gave me like a lot of confidence, but also a way to express myself.
Mhm.
And so her granddaughter also kind of wore what I used to wear, just like t-shirt, like slippers, it was still like just standard stuff. But I think she was saying like she wants her to kind of step out of it and just explore. And so I remember I was just talking with the granddaughter, and I was just like, "Oh, what about, do you think about this t-shirt? What do you think about like these jeans?" Like it was just basic, but still kind of done up
Mm.
pieces, like just a little more elevated, I would say. And so I gave it to her. I was like, let me know if there is anything else. And then she tried it on, and I think she was 12, I believe. And so she was still kind of shy. But then when she put it on, she was like, "I like it." And she genuinely had this like smile. And she kind of, I think she was more comfortable with me. And it was just kind of that connection that I was able to have. And that was like my first month working there. And from that moment on, I was like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I enjoy. So yeah.
Mm. What was it in that searching experience that makes it your favorite? Was it the act of conversing with the grandmother and the preteen? I think that's the best word to describe it. The granddaughter. There you go, that's the
Yes,
word.
the granddaughter.
Or was it the act of helping someone explore their fashion sense?
I think it was definitely both, but more so helping someone explore that, like the fashion sense, because I'm very passionate about fashion and just using it as a way to express yourself and just like also to have confidence. Because I like to say you can have the best outfit out there, you know, but if you don't feel it, if you're not like if it doesn't make you feel confident,
Mm.
then it's not going to look like the best outfit. So even for me, sometimes I can sometimes feel very confident in like a baggy shirt with some jeans and like maybe my sneakers, um, and it's all about what you feel.
Mm.
And so just being able to explore that with a lot of ladies and other people who come in is just it's so amazing. And even with people who also have a passion for fashion, just being able to converse with them and kind of talk about what we share, like our common interests and everything. So
I like
yeah.
that. And usually, people that come into your store, they people that, as you mentioned, already know what they want, like in terms of fashion.
I would say it's a lot of it's kind of both.
Mhm.
So a lot of people sometimes they would just be like, oh, you know, I'm just browsing, and sometimes they even like, oh, I never thought of this piece. Like I never thought you could wear it like this.
Mm.
And like we kind of just delve more into it. And then with people who already know what they want, it's kind of just feeding off of each other's energy, and just it's a just an overall amazing like interaction connection with these people.
Wow,
So
I like that.
yeah.
Gaining connections can happen in a variety of ways, and in your sense, I never really thought about that. Well, you know what? In a general sense, usually people who have the same interest with you, you can already spark a conversation. So that's really cool. How fashion is the main point for both of you guys speaking, and of course, you know your other experiences can help build a rapport with your with whoever comes into your store. I like that. That's very cool. And how do you feel 6 months down the line? Feeling okay?
I at first I was like I was kind of nervous that this was just like a first job new thing experience, but
Mm,
I I mean even with the holidays coming around or with it really being up, I'm still very I mean I know that this is I'm genuinely genuine about where I am.
I like
So
that.
yeah.
There you go. Genuine wherever you are. You don't know if this is the stopping point, but it is definitely a point in your life. Right? It's not
Yes.
just like a past. Yeah,
Yes.
I like that. I would love to speak to you more about it. Technically, we are now in overtime mode, but Sister Riley, this is just because you know you're a great talker, and we're happy to have you here on the show. We want to ask you this last um, question now. Uh, with the culmination of everything that you have experienced throughout your life, and let's take more specifically from this job. Um, Actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask a question. I've been speaking too much. Brother Bruce, that's the last question, brother.
I'm glad that Rayla, that you're taking this more like educating your customers, because when you connect with your customer, this is another reason why they should come back and see you. And that's what sets a lot about you as a butterfly associate, because not
I like that.
only are you
Butterfly.
educating your customer, you're also making them feel at home. So it's hats off to you. So last questions for you is, what lessons have you learned that mold you to be who you are today?
Mhm.
That is a really good one. Well, to kind of tie it in, um, we are called 33 butterflies, also because of metamorphosis, going through different changes in our lives and being able to adapt and change. And funny enough, when I'm asked the question, what kind of animal I am, I would say I'm like a butterfly
Right?
because of the way that I can adjust and adapt to situations that I'm put in. And I think with all of these experiences, I've been able to grow and learn from them, and be able to learn from other people, and also learn from myself. Kind of understanding what I just understanding who I am as a person. I was able to um, understand how I can connect with these people, that I have that ability to genuinely empathize with them, and kind of just learn more about myself in that sense, that I am able to give that care and love to others and also to myself. So,
Mm, okay. You are the second person on this show who answered this question out of the norm. And that's not a bad thing at all. That's actually a really good thing. It's great. Um, First one, the brother spoke about, our previous guest who spoke about the lessons that molded them. He spoke about continuing learning. And for you, you spoke a lot about not more so a specific lesson, but lessons that you gain from every single interaction, that not only helped you grow in certain aspects, but even aspects of learning about yourself. And I think I like that a lot, because when it comes to growing as a person, maturing into your own self, metamorphosizing, is that a word? It's morphing time?
yes.
No, sorry. um, uh, a lot of it comes from self understanding and introspection into yourself. And do you feel like from this job, you've been able to get to know a lot more about yourself?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
There you go. We're gonna leave it off on there. Sister Ryla, thank you so much for being
Yes,
here
of
on the
course.
show today. High five for everyone. High five.
Thank you for
High five.
having me.
And then high five together as a group.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We
yes.
tried. We tried. We'll say we missed you again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We
We
missed
miss
you.
you.
It was so wonderful to have you on the show, Sister Ryla, and Brother Bruce as my as no as the main host. Brother Bruce, you introed, so you're the main host. How does it feel?
Very good.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully, we can have you on the show even more often. It's really good. I like this topic a lot. We've gone through. Yes, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You know what the hand motions mean, right? Just everything. We discussed everything from regular life, but also in our faith, which is the basis of how we live as human beings. And Sister Ryla, we want you to join us in another show later on, because you are in school, correct? When do you graduate? When do you
I
officially?
am supposed to graduate next year, but things change. So maybe
Yeah.
in about a year, I want to say a year or two.
Okay, a year or two.
Yes.
Within that time frame, Sister Riley will be back here on the show, perhaps next week. You never know, because we do want to get to know more, and we want to delve more into fashion itself and helping the one thinking about like how to help a person in their fashion sense, and two, your opinion on how to elevate someone's fashion. So that's a sneak peek for the next time Sister Riley is on the show. We will clip this and play it as a trailer for the next time we're on. But that is all for our show tonight. Sister Riley, before we go, is there any shout outs that you want to give?
Oh, yes. I would like to give a shout out to my mom. Hi, Mom. That's, yeah, my mom.
There we go. There we go. Aw. And Brother Bruce, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give?
I wanted to give a shout out to my family back home and also to the local congregation of Kunia and local congregation of Lihui. Yes.
There you go. And shout outs for me, because
And
you know
you?
everyone wants to know what I'm saying. From shout out to everyone here on the panel today. Shout out to everyone that are tuning in and listening here on the YouTubes, as Brother Jordan said. A lot of people are commenting down saying what's up to you, by the way, Sister Ryla. Carwin saying a wonderful episode from you. Brother Jordan is saying thank you to you, Brother Bruce, actually. And he's also saying that you are very cool, Sister Ryla. Cool and smooth. There we go. There were jokes from Arrow, and we will try to listen to that even more. We're going to listen to that later on. However, as we close out our on our show tonight. We just want to give, as they give shout outs, we also want to give a special thanks to these very special people who allow us to have shows just like this so that we can talk about various topics. Sister Ryla about fashion, and Brother Joe about nursing, not nursing, but as a physical something assistant. There you go. And a lot of different topics that we can talk about, express our feelings, but also sharing our faith all across the world. Now, as we say our special thanks, we want to give a very special thanks to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Villamanalo, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI President, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. Also, special thanks to our Supervising District Minister, Brother Jem H. Baitan, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Ador Postal, and our CFO Overseer, Brother Brandon Pacheco. And of course, thank you to all of the ministers, ministerial workers, and their families here in the District of Hawaii Pacific for continuing to support us here on INC Radio. But that is all for our show this week. We shall see you again next week, and we're gonna say we miss you. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
We miss you.
We will miss
We
you.
will
We
miss you.
we miss you already. Isn't that right, Sister Rella? She's actually crying. We're gonna end the show now. Sister Rella, thank you again for joining us on our show, Brother Bruce. Here, give me some knuckles. Give me some knuckles. There you go. We shall see you again next week. Goodbye and aloha. Wait. Wow. They can't see my left hand. Let me go like this. Oh, I had my pencil the entire time. Goodbye, everyone. Brush your hands. Wash your face. Face care routine. Floss your teeth.
Prayerful.
Be prayerful. Third option. Bye, everyone.